As Sakai Ziegler's mom used to say, almost isn't good enough, and that's certainly the feeling the Tennessee Volunteers had in the locker room after coming up short to the Florida Gators in the title game. Surprisingly, what Tennessee did in order to get to the title game, it didn't do. Anytime the game required physicality, Tennessee seemed to lack it or simply be outmatched when they were going up against the Florida Gators. You look to the game itself, and whether it was offensive, defensive rebounds, touches in the paint, touches from the field, points off turnovers, fast break points, anytime more effort and more toughness and more physicality was required, Tennessee was outmanned every single time. A reality that still remains puzzling to sophomore Cade Phillips.
The defensive side of the ball is where we feed into our offense, and so when we're not getting stops and not getting rebounds, for a team it's hard for us to get going. That's what we pride ourselves on, and that fuels the other side of the ball for us.
The one part of this game that probably stings the most for Tennessee is the rebounding margin. They were out-rebounded 39-25. The last time that they were held to just under 30 rebounds came 7 games ago when they were held to 29. But if you want to find the last time that they were held to 25 rebounds, you have to go back 2 months ago to their first meeting against Vanderbilt, and I'm sure we all remember how that game looked. They didn't have an answer when it came to rebounding, whether on offense or on defense, and it wasn't just what the post players were supposed to be doing. When you look to Cade Phillips and Felix Akpara, it was really everyone on the court was not doing a great job of, in a sense, providing that mop duty, that support for their team to go and get those long out of area rebounds, or even to be able to crash and help to get those rebounds. It's that effort there when it comes to getting those rebounds and lack thereof that really stings this team. And the one time that they were able to get a rebound in the second half, it was their first offensive rebound. They were able to go and get a wide open three-pointer off of that offensive rebound. So they were efficient when they had them. They just did not have an answer for how physical the Florida Gators were, and they almost couldn't have any life. Where Tennessee was suffocating on defense a game ago, it was the Florida Gators who were suffocating in this game.
As long as we getting the shot up, that's all that we can be happy with that. But if we get a steal something and then we turn the ball right back over, that's when problems start. Start on myself, I had way too many turnovers today. It was from my eyes, it was really critical. Shouldn't be having them, especially at this time of the year.
Then you look to really late in this game. At that 8:49 mark, Tennessee was able to get it to a 5-point game 4 separate times, but they were not able to get over that hump in any of those efforts. Then the Florida Gators were able to get it to a double-digit lead once again, able to do that as it got close to the end of the game as well. And I asked Cade Phillips, why were they not able to get over that hump? And he just seemed really dejected, didn't have an answer. Of course, it'll come down to their inability to get rebounds, to get stops on defense. But then you look to the empty possessions that they had. Several times they were able to force turnovers, and it ended with an empty possession on offense. Tennessee not able to capitalize on the few moments where they were able to get defensive stops. And you look to maybe the opposite side of that and what Tennessee was doing, and Sakai Ziegler was really tough on himself when it came to that turnover margin. He had 5 turnovers in this game. The last time he had 5 turnovers, you have to go all the way back to the very end of 2024 against Norfolk when he had 5. There were a couple of other times recently where he's had 4, but he says that those turnovers came in crucial moments and certainly didn't help the team. That was also getting into foul trouble and fouling out late in the game. And it's Tennessee's inability to be physical that still remains the more puzzling part, when that's what they've relied on these last handful of games, and they harped on it coming into this game. They just maybe didn't have the energy, didn't have the numbers on their side when you look at the depth on their roster, and that ended up ending their run here in the SEC tournament.
We have an exceptional group of attorneys that work here. We're all trying to be better attorneys, be better advocates for our clients, be better people.
It makes me proud to be part of the team when I see how much the attorneys care about their clients.
It's truly one vision. I feel like every single person who works here has that same vision, and that's to treat all of our clients like family.
We've developed such a tight-knit team. Everyone is unified in being selfless in their representation.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
But somebody somebody who really shined in this game, has really shined this entire SEC tournament, is Jordan Gainey. We've talked about him a number of times on this channel. If you've missed out on those conversations, certainly hit that subscribe button, because he truly has been the best six-man Tennessee could have asked for. Certainly one of the better ones in the SEC, and he proved it again here in the title game. 20-plus points he had tonight on top of his 15 he had the game before. And where do his points and his efforts come? When Tennessee is stale on offense and they need life somewhere, especially early in this game. A number of times his buckets brought it to a 3, 2, 1-point game, tied it at 16 apiece at one point. And when I talked to the guys in the locker room after the game about what Gainey gives this team, all they could do is just talk about how special he is.
He's been incredible, and he's been incredible this entire tournament. I was letting him know after the game that, hey, like, let's build on this. We still got the bigger prize ahead of us, and to take what we learned today, and go forward in a game like this for JG, just to build on top of that.
How special of a talent Jordan Gainey is. It feels like he's found another gear here inside the SEC tournament, something that they'll certainly want to rely on when they turn their attention to Selection Sunday in just a couple of hours, which we will be at the team hotel for that. So if you didn't subscribe to hear Gainey, subscribe so you hear what the players have to say after it's revealed where they start their NCAA tournament run. And I'll get to that point here on the next point. But getting production from Gainey here in the tournament has been huge. And I asked them, like, do you think you've just found another gear? And all you could do is maybe talk about how his teammates have all found another gear.
Definitely, I feel like we all did. We all learned and grown from games like this, big time, high level games, and all we can do from now is learn from and watch the film and take it out on the next team that we play.
Important to make the right decisions, like when to go for it on 4th down, or when to kick the field goal or go for the touchdown. It's also important to make the right insurance decisions too. That's why my office, Trey McAdams State Farm, is here to help you select the right protection at the right price. Our office will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages, so you'll know what to expect when the unexpected happens. With Trey McAdams State Farm, it's easy to make the right call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Proud sponsor of the Tennessee Vols.
A.G. Hines & Company, a popular place for folks to shop for building materials and tools. They've been selling building materials and tools since anyone can remember. Andros Physical Therapy at Blaine and Strawberry Plains. That's where I've gone to rehab my knee, my shoulder, my elbow. When rubbing a little dirt on it ain't enough.
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong to say his other teammates have found another gear, especially when we look at what Darlin Stone-Dubar has been able to give the team this tournament, especially today. He had early minutes in this game and all to build his confidence, which they continue to try to reinforce and D-Stone as the season goes on. But again, it's 3 hours and Tennessee needs to turn its attention to Selection Sunday where they start their road. But what they take away from this game is that they say if Florida really is the #1 team in the SEC, they get that final #1 seed, then they're pretty close. There are a few things that they need to learn, but they say that they'd rather take the loss now, make sure they learn something from it, knowing that they have at least one more game guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, he said we had a great regular season, so nothing to be sad about. It's definitely going to sting, but we need to wash it out. Florida's a great team. People say that they're the best team in the country, so if that's the best team in the country and we're right there, I mean, we got some learning to do, but if we're right there, we're in a good place.
If there can be one takeaway from their time in Nashville, it's what they learned here about themselves in the SEC tournament. First, when you look at the transfers that are on this team, 4 transfers that provide huge playing time for this team that have never played on a stage like this. It's important that they've been able to feel the energy. You probably, if you saw on the Twitter page or just even watching the broadcast, the level of energy that was in this arena from the first jump ball to the very end was unreal. How exciting it was to watch this game. For them to get that valuable experience will only pay dividends when they get to the NCAA, when it really does get mad. And that's exactly what Chaz Lanier was telling me after the game, that this really is that learning lesson that they've been looking for.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us haven't been in high-level games like this. I mean, coaches describe this type of games like a Final Four game, national championship game. So now that we have that experience under our belt, we'll be ready for next time.
And maybe the most impressive thing to take away from what Tennessee did here in Nashville as they made it to Sunday for the conference tournament championship with their most depleted roster at a time where the conference has never been better, and they were able to hang tough with the Florida Gators, who are now the reigning champions in the SEC. What Jemai Mashak says that you can learn from this is that they truly are a resilient, tough bunch.
It just shows our resilience. I think it shows our toughness, and it shows that we still can achieve another level. Even though people love to put ceilings on teams, people love to put ceilings on players. I don't think there's any ceilings that this team has, just because we're versatile in different areas. We just have to tough it out. We have to make sure we're all on the same page with the game plan, and make sure that we are able to do that during the game.
And when you talk about needing to flush a game, this is probably the fastest that they will have to flush a game. Of course, they'll probably look at film over the next couple of days as they get ready to start their NCAA tournament run, which we'll hear from the team later tonight as they will watch their Selection Sunday from the hotel here in Nashville. And we'll hear from the team, so certainly make sure you subscribe as we get to talk to the team as they get ready to achieve what their real goal is hopefully getting to that national title. I'll talk to you guys again in a few hours.